여러분, 제 얼굴 못 보지만 함께 보게 된 걸 환영합니다. 핏줄 나는 물개를 안 그리기로 했고요. 이제 얘기 시작하겠습니다. 다시. Manatee mothers push their neighbors up to the surface to take their first breath. West Indian manatee. This marine mammal lives in rivers and the ocean. Water in the ocean is salty. Water in rivers usually is not. Most water animals live in one or the other, but the West Indian manatee can live in both. Facts. Kind of animal, mammal, home. Warm coastal waters along the southeastern United States, sometimes in rivers size, with about much as 7 women. 엄마가 7개나 체중기 위에 올라가면 메나치 무게가 된대. 얘는 하루 종일 채소만 먹어서 몸이 뚱뚱해서 엄마가 7명 체중기에 올라갈 정도로 무거운 거예요. 엄마 1, 엄마 3, 엄마 4, 엄마 5, 엄마 6, 엄마 7, 방구득. 엄마 탑. Food. Mostly plants, some fish, and other small animals. Sounds. Squeak, squeal, grunt. Babies. Usually one at a time, sometimes 2. Imaginary manatee. This mammal has a big round body and a flat tail. A manatee flaps its tail up and down to swim. It steers with 2 flippers on the sides of its body. A manatee eats about 100 pounds of food a day. That's like eating 400 hamburgers in a day. 엄마, 매나티가 100파운드의 음식을 먹는 거를 1일에 한대. 그거는 나 아니면 엄마 아니면 아빠 다 식스버거 햄버거를 400개나 먹었다는 얘기예요.
어휴, 그렇게나 많이?
응! 400 hamburgers in a day. Manatees can hold their breath for about 5 minutes at a time to eat plants growing underwater, Atlantic Ocean. Manatee babies are born underwater. When a newborn manatee is born, it weighs about 65 pounds. That is as much as 8 newborn human babies. 엄마, newborn이 뭐예요?
어디 있어?
이거 newborn.
Newborn. 갓
Newborn.
태어난.
갓 태어난. 엄마, 그런데 newborn manatee is born은 원래 우리 사람 있잖아. 사람의 아기가 태어났을 때 8배를 하면 되는데
그래. 그렇게 무거워?
애기 매나티가 엄마 신기한 거 있어. 다 자란 매너치는 여자가 7명 있어야 되잖아요.
네.
7명.
네.
그리고 갓 태어난 매너치는 갓 태어난 아기가 8개. 그게 신기하다는 거예요.
그래요.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 그 다음에 7, 8은 딱 가운데 있는 숫자잖아요. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 90 빼고. 그러니까 A manatee baby stays with its mother for about 2 years. Can you name some plants that you eat? Hint. Vegetables and fruits or plants. Tomato. 세상은 드디어 대망의 무성. Great white shark.
덜덜덜.
Great white sharks are biggest eating fish. There are more than 300 species of kind. I did not. Oh, God. That's kind of animal fish. Mercy, cool, close to water too. Oh dear, what the size of size of August. Mini bread. Food. Fishes, penguins, sea lions, dolphins, purpose sounds known. Babies, potatoes, alive. Yes, looking great right here might look scary, but they do not like to eat people. They like to eat fish, seals, and even penguins. 여기만 해봐요. This shark gets a name from big size and white belly. A great white shark has a dark back and a white belly. Its color helps its dig on a prey. Great white sharks have about 300 teeth that grow in several rows. 여기 이빨이 있고 안에도 이빨이 있고 이빨이 있대. Great white sharks often leap out of the water as they grab their prey. If a fish or other prey looks up, the shark white belly band was derived from the surface of ocean. If a fish looks down, the shark's dark back blinds it the darker waters below it. Great white shark of the out of the water as they grab their prey. Leap! Life in the ocean is all connected. For example, tiny plants called phytoplankton turn sunlight into food. Small fish is phytoplankton. Plankton. Seals is those small fish. The great question is the seals. This is called a food web. Can you think a food web on land? Hint. What does a zebra eat? What is zebras? Ah! Zebras eat grass and tiger or lion eat zebras. Atlantic puffin. This little bird swims underwater and flies through the air. Puffins are nicknamed crowns of the ocean and sea parrots. Puffins live on the ocean far away from land all winter long. They have webbed feet like ducks. They can swim underwater, float on the surface, and fly. 여러분, 이제 지금 여기가 아니고 침대 위에 누워서 읽겠습니다. A puffin can carry back as many as 30 fish at a time to feed its chick. Puffin lives on the ocean far away from land all winter long. They have webbed feet like ducks. They can swim underwater, float on the surface, and fly. First kind of animal bird, home, North Atlantic winter. Deep icy water from one 여러분 이제 다시 돌아왔어. Deep icy water from far from land. Summer. Rocky cliffs on the coast. Size. About as long as 이건 뭐예요, 요거?
치와와. 개 이름이야. 치와와. 작은 개 이름이야.
그런데 엄마, 라이언킹에서 치와와 이거 나오잖아.
그래? 모르겠는데.
About as long as a chihuahua, a little dog, food. 이건 뭐예요?
Mainly fish. 주로
Mainly fish.
주로 생선 먹어요.
Sounds. Purr, grunt, growl, chicks. Usually one at a time. The birds dive underwater and swim to chase the fish they eat. swimming puffin chick. When a puffin chick is about 50 days old, it is on its own. It is on its own이 뭐야? 여기.
혼자 설 수 있대.
우와. 우리는 20년이 지나야 혼자 살 수 있는데, 퍼핀의 애기는 50일만 지나면 혼자서 살 수가 있대. Puffin chick. During the spring and summer, puffin make underground nests called burrows. They lay eggs and raise chicks in the burrows. Parents take turns catching fish to feed their chicks. What do you think puffin have a nickname they do? 마술사 영어로 뭐예요?
Magician.
Magician! Atlantic spotted dolphin. Spotted dolphins live in groups called pods. Some other spotted dolphins have so many spots they almost look all white. Sometimes 100 spotted dolphins travel together in a group. These groups are called pods. More often, the pods are smaller spotted dolphins. Usually have at least a few other dolphins around. 와. 이런 애들도 있어요. 가장 스포티드가 많은 애. 얘도 그렇고.
그러네요.
엄마, 베이비 스포티드 돌핀은 스폿이 없대요. 그러면 스폿 없는 애들만 골라내면 이제 걔네들이 애기예요. 애기. 얘가 진짜 애기인 것 같아요. 열정이 약간 있고. 얘도 진짜 애기. Fats, kind of animal mammal. Home must be in warm, shallow waters in the Atlantic. Also found in deep water. Size about as long as three seagulls은 뭐예요?
세발 자전거.
3 cycles in a row. 엄마, 이 Atlantic spotted dolphin은 세 바퀴 자전거를 줄줄이 세대로 놓은 거랑 길이가 똑같대요. Food, fish, squid, other small animals. Sounds whistle, quick, chirp, whistle, squeal. Babies, one at a time. Babies spotted dolphins do not have spots. Some other spotted dolphins have so many spots they almost look like all white. 왜냐면 점이 하얀색이니까. 그러니까 점이 엄청 많지?
그러네.
그러면 아예 점이 찍혀 있지가 않고 하얀색으로 보여. 그런 것
그래.
같아요. Dolphins are very playful. They leap out of the water and fall back in with a splash. They even throw balls to play alongside. 엄마, 요 아틀란틱 스포트 돌핀들은 배도 쫓아가서 alongside 놀이한대.
같이 놀자고 쫓아간대.
하. Do you remember what the largest kind of dolphin is? Hint. See page 41. 페이지 41을 보려는데 한번 봐야겠다. 올카!
어허.
엄마도 한번 41페이지 한번 봐봐. 아이 참, 알겠어. 이거 약간 이렇게 잘라졌어. There are more than 30 different species of dolphins. Here just a few. White size 봤고, button nose 얘는 봤고, 아니 다시 해보자. White size 얘는 옥토너스서 못 봤고, button nose 얘는 봤고, dusky 얘는 본 거 같고, white tooth 얘는 본 거 같고, sharp-beaked 얘도 본 거 같고, spinner 얘도 본 거 같아. 다 얘 빼고는 본 거 같아요. 넘기도록 하지. 아반틱 홀서 크랩. 이 홀서 크랩이 탐험선 X 모드 그거 있죠? 그 탐험선 X가 이 홀서 크랩 모양이에요.
호스슈.
아니,
말발굽.
아니, 슈 이구나.
팔이 왜 나와?
왜냐면 슈니까 발이 나오지. 여러분 슈 아나요? 이거는 슈래요. 홀슈 크랩. 그래서 한국어 하면 홀슈 크랩. Fats, kind of animal, invertebrate, home, coastal waters of eastern North America. Size, weighs a little more than 2 of these books. 엄마, 요 홀서 크랩은 이 책 하나 있잖아. 이 책을 2개 놓고 약간 더 엄청 약간 좀 더 작은 책을 하나 더 놓으면 얘 무게가 된대요.
아, 그래요.
Horseshoe crabs are most active at night. Sandalers. 샌더워스 하면 딱 떠오르는 거? 모래 속에 있는 이런 2월, 3월, 4월 이런 거. 요게 모래 들어있다 이 말이지. This odd-looking creature has a shell shaped like a horseshoe, a long tail, and 5 pairs of legs. A pair means 2. 5 pair라고 했으니까 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10개! figs, kind of animal, invertebrates. Home, coastal waters of East and North America size, with a little more than 2 of these books. Food, mollusks, worms, fish, and other small animals. Sounds, none. Eggs, 1,000 at a time. This horseshoe crab's first full pair of legs have claws and help the animal walk. The last pair has paddle-shaped ends. The horseshoe crab uses stones to push itself around on the bottom of the ocean where it looks for food. 엄마, 여기 앞에 있는 요 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 요거 있죠? 얘네들은 이렇게 더 갈 때 쓰이는 레그고요. 마지막 딱 여기 한 쌍 보이죠? 이 한 쌍은 바다 중앙에서 먹이가 보일 때 먹이에 가까이 접근해서 먹게 앞으로 가는 뭐 그런 거예요. In the spring, horseshoe crabs come as for big groups to lay eggs in the sand of beaches. How many legs does the horseshoe crab have? 10.
Yes.
10.
10.
10. In the spring, horseshoe crabs come as in big groups to lay eggs in the sand on beaches. Antarctic quail. Quail means whale food in the language of the country of Norway. The quail are food for many larger marine animals. Quail are small, but they're very important on the ocean floor where billions of quail swim together in huge groups. Animals as big as blue whales eat them. Quail and tiny present animal called phytoplankton and zooplankton. Quail can swim for weeks without stopping. Zooplankton, they make their own food from sunlight. Quail can swim for weeks without stopping. That's kind of animal invertebrate. Home, ocean all around Antarctica. Size about the length of the word quail in the title on page 66.
귀만 나와.
quail가 어딨어?
Krill means whale food in the language spoken in the country of Norway. 노르웨이라는 나라의 말로 고래 먹이라는 뜻이래.
엄마, 크릴이 이거만큼 긴가 봐. 이거.
그래, 그만큼이야.
응, 그만큼이라고 했대. Phytoplankton, zooplankton. Sounds. 9 known. eggs, thousands at a time. What is the tiniest kind of food that you eat? 우리 무슨 가장 작은 바다 생물 먹어요?
Little anchovy? 작은 멸치?
Anchovy! 엄마, 요거
Chin strap?
chin-strap penguin. Penguin does birds, but they cannot fly. Most of 이건 뭐예요?
어디?
이거.
턱끈. 여기 보면 턱에 끈이 있는 것 같지?
네.
그래서 chin strap, 턱끈 펭귄.
Chin-strap. Chin-strap dives last for about 30 seconds. 엄마. 이거 뭐라고요?
턱끈. 턱, chin, strap, 끈.
턱끈 펭귄 드는 적 있는 것 같아요. Penguins are expert swimmers. They use their wings to swim in the ocean. They dive to catch fish and other food. Chin traps live in the very cold ocean around Antarctica. A chin-strap penguin's feathers fit tightly together over its body. They keep the penguins warm. The bird has a layer of fat. 어디 있지? 아차. Fat under its skin that also helps keep it warm. Facts, kind of animal, but home. Both deep in coastal waters around Antarctica. Size, about as tall as a 1-year-old child. 이 펭귄은 한 살 어린 애기만큼 크대. 진짜래. 엄청 작다. 여기에서도. Sounds. Cackle, hum, hiss. Chicks, usually 2 at a time. Can you point to the part of this penguin that gave the cheese trap its name? 엄마, 이건 무슨 말이에요?
어디?
이거 자체.
왜 얘가 턱끈 펭귄이라는 이름이 붙었는지 이 펭귄 그림 중에서 몸에서 어느 부분을 얘기하는 건지, 어느 부분 때문에 턱끈 펭귄이라는 이름이 붙었나요?
이 부분과
맞아요.
이 부분 때문에요. 이제 한 장 넘겨서 There are 17 species of penguins. Here are a few others that live in the South Arctic Ocean and South Arctic Ocean around Antarctica. Many penguins live in the ocean at the bottom of the world. Sometimes this causes the Sub-Saharan Ocean, but most ocean scientists call it part of the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. Macaroni. 마카롱.
마카로니.
그래도
작은 쇼파스타 국수 같은 거.
마카롱 먹고 싶다. 여러분, 다음에 할머니랑 마카롱 먹을 때 또 만나요. 그렇지만 이건 끝이 아니에요. 아델리, 킹, 젠투의 얘는 젠투.
겐투.
뭐라고요?
겐투.
왜 겐투예요?
얘 이름은 겐투야.
겐투, 권투, 그레이시오, baby gray seals, born white. born white는 뭐예요?
이름이 얘는 그레이실이잖아. 그런데 아기 때는 화이트래. 태어났을 때는 화이트 색깔인데 점점 크면서 그레이가 된대.
First kind of animal, mammal, home. Coastal waters in the North Atlantic size. Male weighs about as much as 3. 이건 뭐예요, 이거?
이 그레이실이 수컷은 축구 선수 3명의 무게랑 똑같대.
여잔 작대. 그리고 음식 fish. 이건 뭐예요, 이거?
그건 엄마 몰라서 찾아봐야 돼요. 찾아보겠습니다. 갑각류. Crustacean.
Squids, octopuses. Sounds. Hoot babies one at a time. A baby seal can gain 100 pounds of 3 weeks. Baby seals are called pups. A pup's fur is soft and thick. It keeps the pup warm on the ice or where it was born, but it would not keep it warm in the water. By the time a pup is a month old, it grows new fur that's gray and waterproof. Now it can swim a thick layer of fat on the skin. 봐봐. 이거 지금 뭐였지?
그냥 설명하는 거야.
Under its skin, 봐봐. Help keep a gray seal warm in the ice sea cold water where it lives. Adult male or boy gray seals are usually darker than females or girls. Many adults have spots. Gray seals can hold their breath for 20 minutes. There are 3 main groups of gray seals in different parts of the Atlantic Ocean. When you were born, was your hair the same color it is now? 엄마, 내가 태어났을 때 머리카락 색깔이랑 지금의 머리카락 색깔이랑 똑같아요? Yes! There are three main groups of glaciers in different parts of the Atlantic Ocean. Yellow tube sponge. A sponge has three layers. The middle layer is jelly white and gives the sponge its shape. Facts. Kind of animal, invertebrate. Home. Yellow tube sponge. 못 읽을 것 같아서 다시 읽겠습니다. Yellow tube sponge. A sponge is an animal. Home. Shallow waters in the Caribbean Sea and Gulf of Mexico. Size. Grows about as tall as a 2.5-year-old child. Food. Plankton. Sounds none. Eggs thousands at a time. An animal that lives in one spot and does not move around is called a seasonal animal. A yellow tube sponge attaches itself to the ocean floor where it lives its whole life. It's a very simple animal. A sponge body does not have very many parts. Sponges do not have hearts, stomachs, or brains like people do. Water flows through a sponge. The water brings in food and carries out weight. Looking inside a sponge. Sounds none. Eggs thousand at a time. 한 거 같아서 안 한 거 같아서 얘기했어요. 했다고 괜히 저한테 화내지는 마세요. There are 5,000 species of sponges. They come in many shapes, colors, and sizes. Here are just a few. Elephant ear. 코끼리 같아서 elephant ear라는 이름을 붙게 됐나 봐. 얘는 hedgehog.
고슴도치.
Pink face.
분홍 화분.
Barrel.
술병. 술통.
Staghorn.
이건 뭘까? 사슴뿔.
사슴뿔 가져서 같아서 이름을 붙였나 봐. 이번에는 Azorface. 뭐야 Azorface?
하늘색은? 푸른 꽃병?
그런 것 같아. Azorface. Different kinds of sponge have different shapes, including fans, tubes, cups, and cones. Can you think other seasonal animal in this book? hint. See page 32. 42, 28, 30. 스토니코! 스토니코 맞았네. 힌트를 줬으니까 내가 그거 맞춘 거지. 챕터 3. 이렇게 하다 보니까 인디안 오션까지 오게 됐어요. 인디안 오션. 우리는 지금 많은 바다 생물도 만나고 Great White Shark도 거칠게 거쳤고 이제 인디안 오션에 갈 거예요. 챕터 3. 인디안 오션. Giant. 이건 뭐예요? 이거.
Oceanic.
Giant Oceanic. Oceanic이 뭐예요?
큰 바다에.
Giant Oceanic. 그리고 Oceanic.
Oceanic.
Oceanic. Manta ray. Fats. Kind of animal. Fish. Home. Warm shallow waters throughout the ocean. Size. Wing tip to wing tip. Stretches longer than 3 king-size bed. 엄청 길다. Food. Many with plankton. Sounds. None known. Babies. 1, sometimes 2 at a time. Lemurs are a kind of fish that tunnel to raise travel with them. They eat whatever floats at the race mouth pre-dinner. 엄마, 만타가 있잖아요. 걔한테 달린 애들 있어. 이런 물고기예요.
그래요.
이런 내가 옥토너스에서 봤을 때도 만타웨이 아랫부분에 무슨 물고기 2개가 여기에 착 달려있더라고요. 여기 가슴 정도 여기에 물고기 착 여기도 착 달려있어요. The ray is a fish that flies through the ocean. Flaps. 이거 또 이거. The giant oceanic manta ray is the largest kind of ray. It fins with wings and the fish swims through the water, flapping them up and down when it wants to eat. Manta ray unrols은 뭐예요? Unrolls.
어디 있어? 안 피고 있으면.
Unrolls special tracks on each side of mouth. The flap helps aim water into its mouth. 이렇게 돼 있네.
언로라면 그냥 펼쳐진 거래. 펼쳐진 거.
네. As water whips a manta ray's mouth, it passes through gill records or stainless. The gill records trap plankton inside the ray's mouth, and as the water pulls back out in the ocean. Clear station. Manta rays can jump as high as 7 feet out of the water. manta rays often visit clear stations where small hungry fish hang out. These fish clean rays by leaving of tiny animals called parasites stuck to the ray's body. 엄마, 이제 요 작은 물고기들이 요 큰 물고기 멘타웨이를 청소해 줄 거래요. How is the car wash or the fish cleaner station? Good. Good. 구독자 여러분도 밀크토끼 영상을 꾹꾹꾹꾹꾹꾹꾹꾹 눌러주고요. 이거는 책 읽는 영상이에요. 짜잔. That's kind of animal. Fish, home, near the ocean floor in warm shallow waters in the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans. Size about as long as this book is wide. 이만큼 길대요 폴케파이는 그럼 엄청 큰 거 아니야? 한 이만큼을 되는 거 아니야? 아니 그냥 한 이만큼 정도는 되는 것 같았는 것 같아요. Food, mollusks, sea urchins, crabs, snails, hermit crabs. Sounds not known. Eggs, 100 at a time. Clam. 아니, calm이 뭐야?
조용하다.
calm. Balloon fish is another name for porcupine fish. Porcupine fish. 맞네.
아저씨,
How can you make yourself look bigger than you are? Define itself. Long spine porcupine fish. Kind of animal, fish. Home, near the ocean place. 여긴 했고. When it swallows water, this fish floats up like a balloon. The fish has a beak that helps it break open the shells of the food it eats. A porcupine fish has two different looks. It looks like one kind of fish when it is swimming around calmly. When an enemy comes near, the porcupine fish take a big gulp of water. Suddenly, the skinny fish become big, round, and covered with sharp spines. Most predators don't know what to bite. A big, prickly fish. The fish is a big that helps it break open the shells of the food it is. 그리고 이제 How can you make yourself look bigger than you are? 이거 한번 보여주겠습니다. 왜요? 그래도 다음 Whale shark. This is the largest fish. Whale sharks have 27,000 little teeth in 300 rows. That's kind of animal fish. Home. Warm ocean waters mostly near the equator. Size about as long as big scubas. For many plankton sounds known babies up to 300 at a time. The whale shark is not a whale, it's a shark, which means the whale shark is a fish. It got its name because it is a big, some kind of whales. This huge shark is not dangerous anymore. It is a filter feeder that fills with betters. It fills from water like a strainer. It eats plankton. The small plant and animal can float wherever the ocean current take them. 여기 입안을 쏙 자동차 방귀 크릴? How wide can you open your mouth? 나부터 엄마도 엄마는 안 한다고 했으니까 this huge shark is not a dangerous animal. It's a filter feeder. It filters, suspenders. It flew from water like strainer. It is plankton. The small plants and animals that put wherever ocean currents take them. Whale sharks have very wide mouths. The fish open its huge mouth to let ocean water in. It filters plankton from the water as water flows back out through its gills. Phytoplankton or tiny plants, zooplankton or tiny animals. Plankton includes both. Indian Ocean. 아직도 인디안 오션이래요. Blue star. This sea star hides during the day and moves at night. That's kind of animal. Invertebrate. Home. Coral reefs and seagrass. Bats in shallow waters. Bats가 뭐예요? Bats.
침대.
Bats in shallow waters. Size about the size of a small bike tire. 엄마, 난 그거 얘기하는 게 아니고 seagrass bird S요 뒤에.
그거는 해죠. 이건 해초가 너무 많아서 침대처럼 푹신푹신한데.
Food plankton sounds known eggs thousands at a time. Most kind of sea stars have 5 arms, but others have up to 40. Eggs thousand at a time. 이거를 처음에 못했네요.
그래요.
내 검지손가락이 가리키는 거. 그래도요. Sea stars are often called starfish, but they are not fish. They are echinoids. A group of marine animals that include sandalwood, sea cucumber, and sea urchins. If an enemy bites off Brewster's 5 arms, the sister can grow a new one. This amazing ability is called a regoton. A sister's mouth is on the underside of its body. In the middle of its 5 arms. 여기 이거 한 팔 잘렸고 여기 또 잘렸고 요거 나고 있고 요것도 나고 있는 거래. 아이 그래도요. 딱 끝나는 것까지 보이지만 그래도 괜찮아요.
다음에 또 하자.
어이씨 더 하고요. There are more than 1,000 kinds of sea stars. They come in many shapes, colors, and sizes. Here are just a few. Chocolate chip, bad stars, red, comet, slender green, sun. Which of these sea stars is your favorite? Sun. Common lionfish. This fish has spines with poison in them. This common lionfish is also called the devil firefish. This pretty fish pocket spine help protect predators animals that might want to eat it. Can you find the lionfish eye in the picture? Here. 아니, 혀가 아니야. Here. Lionfish are predator to gently hunt for food at night. They use their long fins to trap the fish. 아니, food. 안테나. 이게 안테나라는데? 영어 antenna. This common lionfish is now found in the Atlantic Ocean because people brought it there. Brought it there는 뭐예요? You brought it there. 요거.
사람들이 거기를 가져가서.
That's kind of animal. Fish home shallow muddy waters in the Indian Ocean and South Pacific and in parts of the Atlantic. Size about as long as the loaf of bread. loaf는 뭐예요?
빵 덩어리. 빵 한 덩어리.
빵 한 덩어리가 이만큼이래요. 그럼 약간 작은 거네. Food, small fish and other animals. 이건 안 해도 되고. Sounds, none. Eggs, about 15,000 at a time. Eye, antenna. 안테나가 이렇게 두 개 위에 있으니까 정답이네. 넘어가자. 이것만 하고요. House built sea turtle. This turtle's mouth looks like a house blue. House built sea turtles use their pointed bills or beaks to reach into narrow places to get food. They especially like to eat sponges. What do we remember reading about sponges? Hint. See page 74. 또 페이지 74를 보내는데 74 이쪽. You choose sponge. Mother makes a nest. Baby husband sea turtles cannot dive deep. They put near the ocean surface. Eggs in nest. The older kind of sea turtle are the Cam's Ridley. Always with the green razorback, loggerhead, and flatback. That's kind of animal, reptile, home. In a miracle with ants and a long constance in one part of Indian Atlantic and Pacific Ocean size was about much as a man. Food. Most real sponges, fish, jellyfish, and other sea animals. Sounds known. Eggs. About 140 in one nest. There are seven kinds of sea turtles. Many people think the husband sea turtle is the most beautiful of the seven. Chapter 4. Arctic Ocean. 여러분, 이제 또 다음에 또 만나요. 이제 여기 북극에서 끝나고 내일 또 할 거거든요. 내일은 엄마가 부산 가는 날이에요. 아니, 부산 가는 날이 아니에요? 부산 가는 날이었죠?